Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tired as fuck travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for video number 3. Video number 3 on this now late, getting close to late Friday night, August the 1st, 2025, or for my great people, love you people on the replay crew that watch me on the replay, it is now August the 2nd, 2025. Thank you for watching once again right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button in my pants down in the description box below. Show your love of support. Leave a comment on the video if you like. You don't have to, but if you want to, that's fine. But don't leave stupid comments, because I will delete the comments and then pretty much delete you. You will get blocked and sent to the Shadow Realm where Satan will and Ozzy will eat your soul. So, want to do that? Go to your dead channel that nobody gives two fucks about and do it there. But you're not going to do it on my channel. And if you don't like it, tough shit. I only want real comments about the topic at hand. And that's that. If you say great video, that's fine too. But, you know, don't leave, like, dumb freaking comments. Because, like I said, I'm not going to answer it because it's stupid. So, that's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, well, you need to get slapped in the face, motherfuckers. Because you fat boy, or pretty much SOL. And if you don't know what that means, look it up. And that's that. And if you're brand new here, you're floating around YouTube at this time of night, and, or whenever you're watching, or you're floating around YouTube, you see my gorgeous, sexy face. And I want to know what's up with this guy. What's he talking about? Why is he going crazy? So if I piqued your interest, and you like what you hear, you like what you see, give the video a big, fat thumbs up. Stick that thumb right up the wahoo, because that's where it belongs. And if you want more, like I said, hit the bell, subscribe to the channel, give my other channels your lowest support, lots of content on there. If you like music, got my Metal Guy channel. If you like rants, got my rant channel. But if you like reviews for AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, and WWE, and even New Japan Pro Wrestling, you came to the right spot. This channel and my Peter Joseph channel, and also on my Shadow Slayer channel, I do predictions for pay-per-views. Might do some vlogs later on. We'll see what's going on with that. Try to get back into doing some, you know, here and there vlogs talking about like Labor Day weekend and stuff like that. Don't want to get too personal, y'all, but we'll see what happens with that. So subscribe to my channels, and if you're here for the first time, like I said, hit that bell so you don't miss anything. And that's that. Alright, on this late Friday night, August the 1st, 2025, like I said, or if you're watching tomorrow, is August the 2nd, 2025. And pretty much later tomorrow, we got Summerslam Night 1 of 2. As is the first year that SummerSlam is going 2 nights. And we'll see what happens in East Rutherford, New Jersey at Jet Life Stadium for the biggest party of the summer. It should be a great 2 nights of wrestling action in Jersey. Gonna be nice, not too hot, not too cold. Well, maybe when you get out, it might be a little bit chilly, not that bad, but you don't have to bring a sweater or anything like that. Gonna be nice, around 80, 85 degrees this weekend. No rain, thankfully. But we'll see what happens with all that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in the description box below, check out my last 2 videos of the day. Over my Peter Joseph channel, check out my TNA TV deal video. TNA might be looking to go to either A&E or the CW11, where NXT is, and A&E, where LFG and all the other programs that are on A&E might be going. But what days? They're tentatively maybe Wednesday or Sunday. But I gave my own reaction and thoughts, you understand, about that. So check it out. Link is down below in the description box. As well, if you're on this channel, go back a video and watch my Monday night Raw thoughts video. So that's that. But right now, on this late night, I want to get this done out of the way so I can get some beauty rest, and then get up in the morning and have some breakfast. I got some chores to do, some cleaning in the house, and then might take a walk for a little bit, but come right back before 6 o'clock for night 1 of SummerSlam. Got the predictions to do tomorrow. We'll talk about TNA Ring of Honor actually, we'll talk about Collision tomorrow, and then do night 1 and 2 predictions for SummerSlam. Get you ready for the show. And then after SummerSlam, late tomorrow night, we'll do night 1 predictions of SummerSlam, and then Sunday we'll do night 2. And pretty much that'll be it. Sunday we'll do TNA Ring of Honor, and then excuse me, after night 2 goes off the air, we'll talk about night 2. Oh, that's going to be over on my Peter Joseph channel. The predictions video, like I said, on my Shadow Slayer 2.0 channel. All the links to the channels are down below, so subscribe now. Hit that bell now. If you don't, you're going to miss it. And don't come crying to me. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on video number 3, it is time for your late night WWE Smackdown review. Alright, for earlier in the night, August 1st, 2025, this is the official go-home show before SummerSlam tomorrow night and Sunday night from East Rutherford, New Jersey. MetLife Stadium is going to be rocking, sold-out crowd. Well, we hope. I don't know. I don't know if there's any seats left. Probably not, but if you're going, have fun, be safe. Hopefully you can get home. Should be over by at least 10 o'clock, I would say. But so if you're taking the train or bus from New York City into East Rutherford, New Jersey, you should be fine going home. But if you're members of the press, you might be getting out, a little bit late, because if it ends at around 10, then you got the post show, the scrum for night 1 and 2. So if you're press and you came by yourself on the train or the bus, you might have to leave early, because I think the last train out is after 1, I think. 12 or 1 o'clock is the last train out of Jersey going back to New York City. And that's that. But you should be okay both nights getting home. If you're press, if you're just going there, just getting out, if you take your car, that might be a problem. Because 70,000 people, it feels like it's a Jet or Giant game, you know what I mean? And I know from experience, because I've been to what used to be Giants Stadium, and now it's MetLife Stadium. I've been there a few times, and getting out in the car is kind of, pain in the butt. Because you got to go through all those people who are getting out, going on the New Jersey Turnpike, whether they're going further into Jersey or going into Manhattan or possibly Brooklyn. It's a pain in the ass, and you got to get home like an hour later anyway. Hour, maybe 2 hours later. So, got all that. and a whole bag of chips. That's it. But have fun tomorrow night. That's it. Alright, so we are, for this particular episode of Smackdown, we're not in East Rutherford. We're in dirty Newark, New Jersey, the crime capital of the world. At The Rock, the Prudential Center, which is right near the subway if you went by a New Jersey Transit train, right down the block, basically. A few blocks, maybe. So, just walk down to the train station, you're there, and then you just get on the New Jersey Transit train, take it basically, I think it's 1 or 2 stops, you're back in Manhattan. If you live in Manhattan, and you get to Penn Station, then you take whatever train you have to get to wherever you live in Manhattan, or the Bronx, or Westchester County, or whatever you live. If you live in Brooklyn, that's a little bit more of a trip, but you get off at Penn Station, you gotta get out of Penn Station to go to whatever train you have to go to, and to go to Brooklyn, and then, it's a pain in the ass, because after 12 o'clock, it's a little sporadic. That comes like every 5-10 minutes, comes like every almost half hour, which is a pain. I know from experience, coming from the PNC most nights. Most times I've gone without, taking a car. But, it's a pain in the ass. Alright, enough about that. Alright, SmackDown, very good show. This probably was one of the great go-home shows before a major pay-per-view, or a PLE for that matter. But this was a great show earlier tonight. And our commentary team, as always on Friday Night SmackDown, Joe Tessitore and my good buddy who plays a mean electric twanger. That's a guitar for you people at home. That's bad news. Read about it. I'm afraid Joe got some bad news for you. That's pretty much it. Alright, we have a face-off between Cody, MDK Cody, you bitch, and the 17-time World Heavyweight Champion, our good buddy, John Cena. We got that. We got basically almost all hands on deck for SmackDown. So we have Randy Orton's monotonous voice, and Joey Roll. Drew McIntyre is back. After basically Logan Paul saved him from, him not being at SummerSlam because of his whole thing with his passport. Staying in England because he can't get out of England without his passport. Thankfully, I don't know if it's WWE or Logan Paul, because, Logan has money. Got him out of there. So Drew made it back to America. Was on SmackDown, basically before that, cutting mean promos about Joey Roll, which was funny as fuck. So basically, we got a face-off. But we'll talk about that in just a second. We move on with that. And all the good shit. We had a women's United States title match between Julia and Zelina Vega. And a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Alright. So we start the show inside the Prudential Center. And we see a 15-foot tall steel cage, brother. So we had the cage up there, well, what's the cage for? There's no cage match. But if you've been following along, probably something with Soto Mibuki, the United States Champion, and his group MFT, and the little crazy man who goes, yeah, mean, Chico, ba, two. So we see what happens with that. Alright, so we see the cage, and after that, the lights go out. Sabu! No, not you, Terry. Stay over there. So the lights go out, now we get the music of John Cena, the 17-time champ, kicks off the show. But before he can even say anything, Cody! MDK Cody, you bitch! No! So he comes out to interrupt, and they cut an amazing promo. It's a great segment. Cena says, I told you I was exhausted, and a match at SummerSlam would be just too much. Because, I got films coming up. I got a busy schedule. Blah, 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 blah. it's just too much on my schedule. I'm tired. I need some time to kind of recharge and stuff. Then you forge my name on the contract to one of the most dangerous matches at SummerSlam. That's Street Fighter is that dangerous? Well, we can be if you watch AEW Collision the other night with Dustin Rhodes and Kyle Fletcher. That was probably one of the... I've seen a lot of hardcore matches, and some of them have been sick. Really sick. To the point where you're about to throw up. But on that match, didn't top Moxley and Hangman Adam Page sickness with, real glass Crimea River. Thumbtacks. Thumbtack glove. Power slam into the tacks. Shattered dreams with Dustin putting the rest of the tacks he had in Kyle Fletcher's basically his tights. Then he kicked him in the balls. Oh! Man, I feel bad for Kyle, man, and God forbid he has his wiener is probably all got all little holes in it from the tacks, bleeding. He was probably nasty shit. I don't even want to get into it, but we'll talk about that probably tomorrow. But move on. But anyway, for the most important prize in WWE, the undisputed unified title. So, Cena thanks Cody for giving him the motivation that he needed, but the reality is, I threw everything away after 25 glorious years of hard work for the sake of a shock. Shock? Okay. I want to walk away as champion after my last match, which will probably be December, even though it's October, but he says December, whatever. So people won't forget about him. He realizes how stupid he was acting. Acting like, I'm a freaking heel, And Cody forced him to face it and fight. And then he's like, if I don't show up for war, I shouldn't just show up at all. So we see Cena basically like, I'm not, you kind of open my eyes, Cody, I'm not that guy, but, if I don't show up for this fight as a heel, then then I'm just, I'm a schmuck, I'm a hypocrite, stuff like that. The fans are like, yes, this is the Cena we want, yeah. And Cody's like, yeah, I told you, see? So he says, the only platinum rapper coming after you, Cody, is me. I'm like, shit. When did he become platinum? But I digress. Alright, so he goes to leave, and then Cody takes his jacket off, so you know what that means. He's gonna get serious. Not that we care about him being serious. So he welcomes John back and grabs two Pabst beer, which tastes like shit. I've tasted it and it's not great. Beer face. So, garbage beer, by the way. So he gives him a beer. They shake hands. Basically left-handed shakes. Whatever. Then, basically, they do it was like Stone Cold and Hogan, Stone Cold and The Rock sharing a beer. Right? And then Cena leaves, and they're like, oh, goodbye, Cena's heel turn. Or heel run. Which basically kind of started off, it was shocking that he turned at Elimination Chamber. He wins the title at Mania thanks to a guy, that really didn't give two fucks basically to even be in WWE, and that's Travis Scott, who was supposed to be at Backlash with Cena, but that changed because they dropped basically he's like, I don't want to fight, he dropped the ball with WWE, and WWE had to scramble to change everything. Blah, 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 blah. And pretty much every freaking week we saw him, he was getting beat up by like Randy Orton, Cody. I mean, it felt like, man, this heel version of Cena's boring. His promos were good, but, you know, just the way he came off as a monster heel, you know, being The Rock's boy, his second in command. You know, Travis Scott was like number 2, and then, you know. And now it's just basically the Cena Rock show, unless they add a new guy in who, I don't know. But we have that. But, you know, his heel run has been semi-good, and, you know, really, I would say 85% bad, 15% good. But now that Cena looks like he's turning back to a baby face, people's like, oh, Cody's gonna turn heel on Sunday, right? We'll see. I mean, they've been talking about a double turn where Cody goes back to, you know, goes from being a major baby face to being a heel. How did that work out for you in Ring of Honor? Not so good, Al. You know, you won the title and held it for like a year, and then lost to Dalton Castle of all people. I was there when he won the title, and then I was there when he lost the title to Dalton Castle. But it is what it is. Alright, so we'll see what happens on Sunday. There's going to be a humongous swerve from John. It's like, oh, I'm back, kids! I'm back, kids! You can see me! I knuckle shuffle! I'll do it for the children! I'll do it for you, children! But, like, it's probably all a swerve. It's like, oh, fuck you, kids, you know? Fuck you, fans! You born into that shit! All you newbies out there, like, oh, the Cena's turned face, yay, he's never gonna go back to being a heel. That's why you have to wait to see what happens. Oh, like, all you marks out there is like, oh, Cena's a face again, he's not gonna, there's not gonna be a double swerve, a double turn, or a swerve, or anything on Sunday. I'm thinking it's a big old swerve, like, you know, Cody's like, I want to see the real John Cena. It's all about, I shall not take respect. You can't see me. So Cena comes out and is like, oh, you want the real John Cena? Here it is. So Cody's like, I brought John back. We had a beer together, and next thing you know, they have a good match, and then at the end, Cena kicks Cody in the balls again, retains the belt, and then comes out on the next Raw or Smackdown next week and says, Cody, I fooled you. Or he does the old dark helmet gag. Fooled you. And then he's like, I got you too. I get you. What's with you, man? You fell for it too. What's with you, man? You know, stuff like that. John's like, I fooled you all. You actually thought I was gonna turn back to a baby face? People are stupid. And I'm like, John, I knew it from all along. I knew you weren't gonna turn. Look at end your career on being a baby face. Ugh. We have that cold one, baby. Well, we got that. But this was an amazing promo from both guys. I'm sad to even say that as for a Cody promo. But I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and we're off and running on an explosive start to Friday Night Smackdown. So we get that. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we get to a video from early in the day where Logan Paul interrupts Joey Rhodes' training session, and 2 of the guys that were training with him I know personally. I'm not going to give you those names, even though I did on my Raw review, I kind of gave them their wrestling names, but it is what it is. But they were in there with Joey Rhodes training for the match on tomorrow night. Then he gets to the ring, and then basically him and Drew McIntyre come in the ring, beat the fuck out of him. I mean, no Randy Orton. Randy Orton wasn't even there. So just, they beat him up. Drew hits the Claymore, lays him out. And everybody's like, oh, that's the last time we're going to see them. But wait, there's more. We'll move on with that. Alright, so I gave that segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. And we move on. Alright, now we go to the action because, as my ex-girlfriend, Ashley Marie, used to say, a little less talk and a lot more action here on BCR. I mean, my show. Can't say BCR anymore because I don't work there anymore. Let me move on. Alright. So we go to the Women's United States title match. So we had the beautiful Julia, along with her manager, friend, associate, the lovely Kiana James, who looked like she came from school. Woo! Well, she had a really good meeting. Well, she's an accountant, of course. She can do my taxes anytime. Might have to audit my dick, but I digress. Alright, she takes on Zelina Vega, who looked amazingly hot, as she always does. That's Mrs. Aleister Black, by the way. But anyway, this was a pretty good match. Both these ladies killed it. It's also with Zelina charging at Julia, gets thrown down to the mat. And then Julia basically has to muscle Zelina up for a suplex. And then after that, they get back up. Zelina sends Julia to the floor for a flippy dippity-doo as we go to our first break of the evening. Well, not first break of the match, I should say. We come right back. Julia hits a wheelbarrow face plant. Ow. Then a modified version of the camel clutch. Ow. Then a hard stomp drops Zelina, but she's right back with a basic suplex. Circa 1921. And then Julia goes up top, gets German superplexed back down. And fans like, whoa! Impressive. Most impressive, Skywalker. Most impressive. It was a great spot. But we'll get to a bigger spot in the match in a minute. So, Julia shakes that off, hits a big knee to face. And then they sit out hammerlock power slam for a very near fall. And then Julia and Kiana are like, what? Oh, that was a butterfly suplex that Julia hit. That superplex. And then basically she held on and then hit, I don't know what type of move it was, but it was a sit-out hammerlock power slam. Wasn't her actual finisher, which was the glamorous bomb, but whatever she named it. But somehow Zelina kicked out of that, and the fans like, oh shit! This is awesome! Yeah! No, not you, Mike. I know you're awesome. I know I'm awesome. But why do you have to say that all the time? Well, no, if I say something, I'm reading the copy. Oh, I did it again? Yes, Mike. Shit! No, I'm sorry. Okay. Alright. Say goodnight. Say goodnight, Mike. Goodnight, Mike! Bye! Okay. Thank you. Anyway. So, fans are going nuts after Zelina kicked out of that. Zelina comes right back with a backstabber. Then goes up top, goes for a moonsault. Julia got her knees up. And then basically picks up Zelina, hits the Northern Lights bomb. 1, 2, 3. Julia retains her Women's United States title in 12 minutes. A little over 12 minutes. But pretty damn good match. And I gave the match 3 out of 5 stars. And we'll see where Julia goes from here. Who could be next? Not many challengers for her right now. Like, who could beat her? Don't know. That's that. Alright, then we go to the back with Kathy Kelly, who's talking to Solo Mibuki and the rest of MTF. We see the big man, the Samoan Kevin Nash. That's Hikuleo, or Talatanga. And we see Jason Mateo and Tangaloa. They're there. And Kathy asked him if he's ready for Jacob at SummerSlam in the cage. And he says something to Kelly. Kathy's like, what? He's basically like, I'm ready, blah, blah, blah. And we got big plans for later on as an added bonus. So then they leave, and he's like, I mean. And then Kathy's like, I don't know what he means, but, and then, like, she stopped, and I think, like, Solo said something to her, and she's like, what? Like, what was that about? Alright, move on with that. Alright, so I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, back to the ring we go. We have a special treat for you kiddies. And that's, for the first time in WWE history, the Triple A, or the Triple A, tag team titles are being defended by the new champs, Los Lobos. That's Hector, Jesus. I'm sorry. Eddie's gonna... Why are you messing with Hector? No, I didn't say Hector Guerrero. I said Hector Garza by accident. Well, he's gonna go anyway. Okay, thank you. Alright, so we had Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza with their good friend and manager of Legado. That's the man himself who leaves his card at the casino. And that's Santos Escobar. Alright, so they're there. He cuts a promo, basically saying, who's gonna take the belts from Los Lobos and Legado. Some, like, probably be 2 jobbers from Jersey. But it's not. We get the music of Psycho Clown from Triple A. And the legend himself, the crowd went nuts when he came out with his music hit. And that's Mr. Iguana! Oh, the legend, he came out, with his little pet iguana, the little puppet thing, which is now on sale on WWEshop.com. Buy it now. So, they come out, I'm like, oh man, we're gonna get new champs, right? No. But it was a fun match, though. So it starts off with Psycho Clown and Angel Garza beating the crap out of each other. Then Psycho Clown just went to work on Angel Garza, beating the crap out of him, and he forms Humberto off the apron, and he's like tearing at his mask. He rips it apart, and I'm like, wait, is he actually gonna see his face, like his real face? But no, he had another mask on, like a bedazzled mask. It was like weird, like what the? So instead of the Gene Simmons type mask with a big tongue, get this bedazzled mask, look pretty nice. Alright, then we get a pop-up forearm, gets a near fall on Angel Garza, but then Humberto Carrillo comes in and takes over on Psycho Clown. Angel cranks on both arms as Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore start arguing over, Mr. Iguana's puppet. I forgot the name of it, something with a Vichay or Viga, I don't know what it is. Vigo? No, not Vigo. He is Vigo! You're like flies to him. Well, I love you too. Okay. Ghostbusters 2 references. Oh, yeah. I hated Ghostbusters 2. I hated it. With the slime that made, you get mad, the slime starts going, firing up, and like, this weird stuff. It's just a stupid movie. So be good, for goodness sake. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, back to the match. Alright, Psycho Clown fights up, gets the hot tag to Mr. Iguana. The crowd goes berserk. To pick up the pace, we got a kind of looking Iguana Rana into a crucifix bomb. Has the champs on the floor, but they catch a running flippy gibbity doo on Mr. Iguana, then basically throw him right into Psycho Clown for a big crash, and then a double super gorilla press slam. Alex said it 5 times fast. Drops the legend Mr. Iguana for a near fall. Psycho Clown gets the tag and gets caught in the NTY, whatever that is. Not tonight, Yosemite, or whatever, I don't know what it means. They get the pin to retain the titles in exactly 7 minutes. Match was alright, nothing great, but still 2.5 out of 5 stars. So, Los Lobos get the win and retain the Triple A Tag Team titles. But great to see Psycho Clown and Mr. Iguana, who are both signed. So, that's nice. Hopefully see more of them by the time we get to the end of the year. And that's that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. We move on. Alright, there we go to the back, where Kathy Kelly meets up with Logan Small and Drew McIntyre, Pabucho, who will address their attack on Jelly Roll from early in the night. They'll talk about that later. So that's going to be the end segment of the show. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we get a video on what happened last week in that epic brawl between all the tag teams, not all of them, but most of the tag teams that are going to be competing in that which is going to be a hellacious and pretty much an epic 6-way TLC match. So we see a look at each team, DIY, the Wyatt Six, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Profits. Who am I missing? Fraxium. I think there's one more, I can't think of it. Andrade and Ray Phoenix, I believe, are in the match. Yeah, they are. So it's going to be, whew. At SummerSlam, it's been a while since we had a TLC match at SummerSlam. So that's going to probably be match of the weekend. But we'll see what happens with that. So we got a video for that. Alright. After that, we go to our next match. Battle of big men, big beefy men slapping meat. So we get to Mr. Aleister Black. And he takes on Bobby Priest, Damian Priest. Pretty good match. But, aftermath. Woo boy. Alright, so we get a feeling out process to start. Not like that. Poppy kicks to the titties, the chest. Sends Aleister to the outside to get back up. And Aleister kicks Poppy in the head for a crash to the floor. As we go to break, we come right back. Aleister continues the assault, hitting a knee to face for an near fall. And then Priest's like, "Hulk it up, brother!" And then he goes on top, hits old school, a la the Undertaker. That was very nice. He hits that and a big clothesline for a near fall. Then he super kicks Aleister Black to the floor. Goes for a dive, but dove right into a knee to face. And that really didn't do much, but just pissed Poppy off. Then he hits the bounce! Period, over the announcer's table. Sadly, did not hit Joe Tessitore. Damn. So that was sick. They get back up and in the ring, and then Aleister throws a chair right at Poppy's face. Alright, I don't know if it was a DQ. I thought it was for the win, but it was a DQ. So, Poppy wins by DQ in under 9 minutes. Match was decent, 3 out of 5 stars. And then afterwards, Aleister goes to town on Poppy, beating the crap out of him. Beating on him with the chair. I think he hit him in the mouth area with the chair or a kick. Then he hits Black Mass as Poppy was basically slunched around the steel steps. Basically knocked him out. And the referee, poor Daphne, who was the referee for the match, is like, "Oh, what am I gonna do? Something! Do something!" Aisha Pereira? Come on now. Well, her real name is Daphne, but she used to be a wrestler called AJ Pereira, or AJ, or AJ Pereira, Super Pereira, whatever you want to call it. Super! Well, we got that. But anyway, then referees and people came out and looked like Poppy broke his jaw because Daphne was like looking at Poppy, he's like, "Are you okay?" And Poppy like this. He's checking out his beard. Because he's a man. He's almost 40, got a beard. Yeah, but I'm thinking he like, it's like make sure his jaw was intact. Because he got hit flush with that black mass by Tommy but, you know. Alright, so we got that. So we'll see what happens next week with Aleister Black and Poppy. And that's that. That dude kissed Richard Dawson? What the hell? You know, Richard Dawson always kisses the ladies, but this African American guy, like, he's like, "Oh, come here, Richard!" Oh. I'm like, ew! I'm like, Richard Dawson took that? I think he might have turned and like, "I'm kissing you." Probably kissed him on the cheek. I mean, that's fine and dandy, but, you know. If like, Richard was gonna, like, full on make out with the guy on national TV, I'm like, no. For a guy that used to kiss a lot of women, Richard Dawson, and kissing a guy like that? Family Feud would have been canceled right then and there. But, you know, this is like 80-something, like early 80s stuff, so. Whatever. Alright, moving on from that. Blah, 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 blah. As long as they don't splash on me. But it's 80s stuff, they're all dead anyway. Richard Dawson died way in, like, the 90s anyway. Sad. One of the greatest game show hosts in history next to Alex Trebek, God rest his mighty soul. Wink Martindale, God rest his mighty soul. Tom Kennedy, God rest his mighty soul. Peter Tomarken, same thing. Chuck Woolery. I think the only one left from the 80s is Pat Sajak. He's still alive. Not doing Wheel of Fortune anymore because he's pretty much retired. Living his life at 70-something years old, I think. Whew. It's late, I'm tired. Alright, so we got that. Alright, after that, we're gonna look at It's Tiffy Time! Daddy! You woke me up, sunshine. What do you want? Never mind. Okay. Alright, so Tiffy Time. Tiffy Stratton saving Jade Cargill last week from the secret Hervis, I believe. Yeah, the secret Hervis after Jade destroyed Chelsea Green. So we get that. Alright, we're in the back. And we see Tiffany Stratton looking amazing. Looking like she had a chain bra on. Good top, good bottom too. Jade comes in looking nice. Because she's a nice lady. Anyway, Jade tells Tiffy that she's like, "I didn't need your help last week. And it's going to be no distractions when I beat you at SummerSlam." I think she will beat Tiffy, but, you know, never say never. Tiffy can pull off the impossible. She beat Charlotte Flair at Mania to retain her belt. Can she beat Jade? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We got that. Let me move on. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And I gave Poppy versus Aleister Black, I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Let me move on. Alright, then we get to Hikudio versus Jimmy Uso. Solo comes out with the big man. Jimmy by himself, of course. Alright, so what's up? Match, nothing great. It's also with Jay striking away in the corner. Gets slapped down with one chop. He's out. I was like, damn. Your name isn't Walter. Walter chops you, you're down for a while. So anyway. So then he starts to beat the crap out of Jimmy. Gives it a scoop slam. Goes for a charge to the apron and missed. Then we get an Insecurity puts the big man down on the floor. And then a flippy, Jimmy goes for a flippy dippity doo, which was, it connected, but it then knocked the big man down. As we go to break, we come back. Jimmy tries and failed to chop his way out of trouble, but he slips out of a choke slam attempt, fires off some super kicks, followed by a spear, not a great spear like Jay or Roman would hit. So he hits the spear, goes up top for the Superfly splash. He dives off the top, and then who's like, ah! Big old, grabs him by the throat, then hits a pretty wicked choke slam. 1, 2, 3, he gets his first major win, his first official win on the Smackdown roster and in WWE. So your winner in under 10 minutes, Mr. Hikurio. And that's it. And then after the match, the rest of MFT come in, Tonga Loa and Jason Mateo, along with Solo, they come in for a big old beatdown, and then Solo's like, bring down the cage! So the cage slowly lowers, and then somehow Jacob Fatu comes out as the cage was like not even close to being down. Like, so they're fighting, and the cage finally does come down because we see like Stagehand's like, okay, it's good. That's bad production right there. And we thought AEW's production is crap. But anyway, Jacob beats the living crap out of all the MFT guys. Solo and Hikurio somehow get out before the cage actually did come down. And then Jacob basically beats up JC Mateo and Tonga Loa with running Umaga attacks in the cage. And then that's basically it. And he's like, does this thing. And then he starts yelling and cursing at Solo, and Solo's cursing back. It's like, you son of a bitch, fuck you. Stuff like that. Alright, so we'll see what happens. I think it's on night 2 for the men's United States title. I want Jacob to get it back, but I think Solo, with the numbers game, I think Solo has the advantage, and I think Solo will retain there. And we'll see what happens with that. Moving on. Alright, then we got a long SummerSlam weekend, a SummerSlam rundown, for all the matches on night 1 and 2 is all finalized now. We'll talk about that later tomorrow. Alright, then we go to the women's locker room where we have Horseface, Charlotte Flair, and Miss Bliss. Basically, begrudgingly admitting they're getting along. They're kind of coexisting. Can they really coexist tomorrow against Raquel Rodriguez and Roxy for the women's tag team belts? I think they will win, but we'll see. So they begrudgingly admit they're kind of getting along, but they still don't want to use the F word. Fuck. French. Fart knocker. We can't use the trans word because Charlotte, nice shirt by the way. Basically, it was like really cut off. You almost see her tatas. As I said, we are not friends. So we got that. Alright, so 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. We'll see what happens tomorrow night with the women's tag team titles. Let's see if Charlotte and Lexi can do the impossible and win the tag team titles. And that's that. I think they will. Let me move on. Alright, then we get to the final segment of SmackDown. Drew McIntyre and Logan Small, they come out for a little kitty chat. Logan comes out, I'm so humble! How can I believe it? Fuck you. Logan talks about how we are here to defend. They are in the building to defend this place from outsiders like Jelly Roll, and they think he needs to consult Weight Watchers. Dude, he lost 100 pounds. He has to go to Weight Watchers to get more weight off. Okay. But then we see a car coming into the parking lot, or the parking garage, or, the back of the arena, and out comes Jelly Roll, and we see all these people, and who the fuck are these people? Probably just like stagehands or actual people. What are they doing there? I don't know. But Jelly Roll gets out of the car, and he stops, goes, bangs on the hood of the car, and then we see Randy Orton and his voice! So, they head to the ring, and Logan's like, yapping on the mic. We can barely hear what he's saying. So they go to the ring. Nick Aldis tries to stop them. That's gonna work. And then security guards come out, and we have a big old brawl. And then eventually, cooler heads prevail. Security gets Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul out of the ringside area, but the remaining security guards, it was like 3 security guards left with Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. Randy's like, bang! Gilmore Custer, bang! Gilmore Custer, bang! Gilmore Custer! Well, he kind of looks at the third guy who's an African-American guy. He's like, you're gonna get one too eventually, and eventually, bang! 3 in a row, basically. Actually, well, he doesn't hit a Gilmore Cutter. I apologize for that. So he hits 2 Gilmore Cutters. Then this poor sap African-American security guard, he was like, scared. I'm gonna get a Gilly Cutter now. And then Jelly Roll basically says, you know what? I'm gonna get in on the fun. And he chokeslammed the living fuck out of that guy. And Taker's in his house looking on like, I told him that. Hey, Joe could have been on LFG. But, so we'll see what happens with that. I think the match is tomorrow. So, Sunday. So it's Randy and Jelly Roll taking on Logan Small and Drew McIntyre. It looks like Randy and Jelly Roll will get the win. I think Jelly Roll will pin Logan Paul with that mighty chokeslam. Or Randy hits an RKO and Jelly Roll gets the pin or something like that. But it's gonna be a kind of, it's gonna be an exciting match. Not I'm looking forward to it, but so we get that. Alright, then Randy and Jelly Roll celebrate. As we end the show, we fade to black. And that's that. But Jelly Roll is, very impressive Skywalker. With his, he's not really a wrestler, but, getting taught by The Undertaker and a couple other people. Hits a mean choke slam. Pretty decent black hole slam. Probably Abyss told him that. We'll see if he has any other moves up his sleeve. But, not the greatest celebrity wrestler that WWE ever had. I think Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, probably pretty much neck and neck. All the greatest celebrities to be in WWE in a match. Hey, at least it's not Snooki. Oy. I love you, girl, but, you're not a wrestler. Hell, freaking Vicky Guerrero, excuse me! Not even a wrestler with that horrible tadpole, not even an Eddie Guerrero-like frog splash. Don't get me started with that, Isabella. I won't, Eddie. Go night-night now. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, so that ends Smackdown. Smackdown was great. I gave it 7.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment down below. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. So we'll talk about it in the comments section. And that's that. So smash that like button to death. Once again, hit that subscribe button down below on this channel, my other channels as well. Show your love and support. And like I said, leave a comment, but don't leave stupid comments. Like I said, once again, you will get blocked if you leave stupid comments, and you will never be heard or seen again. And that's it. Don't forget to hit the bell, share the video all over the internet, all that good stuff. Alright guys, I'm out of here, about to pass out, go to sleep and nod off. So I'm gonna take a couple out, I'm gonna go to sleep, get up early, and have my sensible breakfast, and then probably around noon, 1 o'clock, maybe between noon and 2 o'clock. We'll talk about Collision, and then probably around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll do my Summerslam predictions, get you ready for the show, and then I'll watch the show. I'll be in between. I'll have my sensible dinner and my lunch, and then like I said, after SummerSlam goes off the air, probably like an hour or two after SummerSlam goes off the air, we'll do Night 1 review for that. So it should be a great night of action, and that's that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Peter Joseph signing off. Peace out. Rock on. Bleh. Not this. Rock on and rock hard with your cookoot. And if you're not down with that, well, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, Mario. And that's it. Get some sleep, fuckers, if you haven't already. And that's it. Until next time. Peace.